Hello, my name is Sam McLure, and I'm the founder of the adoption law firm. If you are a grandparent raising your grandchild, you are in the realm of the unexpected. Undoubtedly, you never expected to be in this position, and undoubtedly, you and your family are going through some hard times. And now that you're here, now that reality has dawned on you that this could be permanent, you may have to consider adoption. Adoption sounds nice, but it can also be intimidating. If the natural parents haven't been in the picture, is it really worth stirring up trouble? You've established a level of peace and stability, and is now really the right time to try for adoption? And what about the costs? One of the top obstacles to grandparents adopting their grandchildren is finances, and that's understandable. There are a lot of moving parts that go into a decision for grandparents to adopt their grandchildren. Financial concerns are a big consideration. The expected cost of grandparent adoption, where the natural parents give express consent, is about $5,000. The relative efficiency of the venue has a big impact on the cost. This means that some local courts are more streamlined, clear, easy to work with than others. The law also requires a brief home study, which covers federal and state background checks. The cost of that is about $1,000. In addition, court costs could be up to $500, and we are easily at this point up to $7,000 in total costs for an uncontested grandparent adoption. In a contested adoption, the cost could be much higher. The good news is that the federal adoption tax credit covers all of your expected expenses up to $17,000. And it gets even better. The first $5,000 comes back to you directly as a refund. The remaining $12,000 functions as a deduction in your tax liability that can carry over for 5 years. So that relieves much or all of financial strain. The next most common hesitancy for grandparents is the risk of upsetting the status quo, potentially resulting in the natural parent snatching the child out of your home. We want to address that concern head on, and we will begin by addressing the 4 categories of legal authority. Number 1, some grandparents have no legal basis to keep and care for their child. The grandparent has been able to enroll the child in school and take them to the pediatrician based solely on the goodwill of those intake people. This could potentially roll along indefinitely. That is, until the parent wants the child back. In this scenario, there is a great risk to the child's stability because the parent could show up anytime and at any point, demand their child, and even enlist law enforcement's assistance if needed. There's nothing the grandparent can do. Number 2, some grandparents have temporary guardianship. In Alabama, this isn't much more protection from the first category. Temporary guardianship gives the grandparent legal authority to enroll the child in school and obtain medical care, but it does nothing to stop the parent from removing the child at will. Temporary guardianship can be revoked by the parent at any time. Number 3, some grandparents have legal custody. This transfers a lot of the powers to guide, protect, and nurture the child, but is always changeable. At any point, a parent could come forward, challenge the custody arrangement, the visitation arrangement, and in some situations get a court-appointed, taxpayer-funded attorney to try to claim back the child. An unsafe parent is often the main reason why grandparents pursue adoption. Adoption is final. Once granted, there is no constant fear of the unstable natural parent coming forward and disrupting the child's safety and stability. If you've decided to take the step towards adoption, your greatest fear is likely poking the bear, stirring the hornet's nest, or whatever you want to call it, risking the natural parent coming back into the picture as a way of retaliating against you for taking their rights. The good news is that we often don't require the actual written consent of the natural parent who has abandoned their child. If the natural parent hasn't been involved in the child's life, hasn't provided emotionally and financially for the child, hasn't had a contact or communication with the child, then the court can find that the parent has given implied consent. Now, what is implied consent? Implied consent is a breath of fresh air for grandparents seeking to adopt their grandchildren. For a natural parent who has abandoned their child to the care of the grandparent, This tool allows the court to grant the adoption without poking the bear. As a final thought, I want to leave you with 2 questions to ask yourself as you consider if pursuing adoption is the correct decision for your grandchild at this particular time. Number 1, will your grandchild's emotional health be materially promoted through adoption? If your grandchild wants the certainty of knowing where they belong and to whom they belong, then it could be time to pursue adoption. Children are savvy. They know when things are permanent or temporary. Number 2, will adoption promote your grandchild's physical safety? Are the natural parents dangerous? If they have a history of drug abuse and there are no legal boundaries to prevent them from having access to the child, then it may be time to pursue adoption. Adoption provides finality and control for the adopting grandparent and the grandchild. The concern of losing your grandchild to a retaliatory natural parent is real. Let us help you navigate that. It's not uncommon for the natural parent to initially express hostility, but eventually come around to give their express consent to the adoption when they realize it is in the best interest of their child. Concern for costs is also legitimate. The federal adoption tax credit should be kept in view as it credits adoption expenses up to $17,000. The main question that every grandparent raising their grandchild asks himself is this the right step for this child at this time? If you want to talk through that question with an adoption expert, feel free to call us today and we will be happy to set up a consultation.